Hi, my name is Ash Brown.
And I'm Jacovia Young.
Today we're celebrating Veterans Day. The purpose of Veterans Day is to honor those soldiers that came before us and fought for our rights and freedoms. However, one group of soldiers who has not been recognized is the African American soldiers that fought in France during World War I. These soldiers were crucial for the victories of America and other countries, yet when it comes time to educate on this topic, they've been neglected. Because of this, the World War I Committee at the Buffalo Soldier National Museum, in partnership with the Carnegie Vanguard High School Black Student Union, has asked a group of students from Houston, Texas, and the French villages where those soldiers fought to join us in remembering those soldiers and their fight. I will be honoring Private Claude Hayes. I will remember you. Thank you. Jacovia.
When we first started on this project, we were looking through photos, and I noticed that in some of the pictures of the soldiers, there were soldiers that didn't have names. And that in particular really touched me because these soldiers fought so hard and sacrificed so much, even sacrificing their lives for us not to even remember their name. And that's really heartbreaking. So I think that it's really important that we remember and honor the soldiers' names that we can, but also to honor the unknown soldiers because they fought as hard as anybody whose name we remember. And in particular, this Veterans Day marks the centennial of the first honoring of the unknown soldier.
Thank you.
Ces soldats sont morts pour protéger le village de mon arrière-grand-père et c'est important pour moi de garder ce souvenir aussi vivant que je le suis. Moi, aujourd'hui, grâce à leur sacrifice il y a 102 ans.
C'est bon. Roland. Garde à vous! Vous. Attention pour les couleurs! Dépôt de gerbes. Monsieur le maire. Monsieur le sous-préfet. Ou mort! silence. Hymne des États-Unis d'Amérique. La Marseillaise. Prise de parole, Monsieur le maire.
Monsieur le consulat général, Monsieur le sous-préfet, Monsieur le maire de Séchaux, Monsieur le vice-président de la communauté Argonne-Ardennaise, Monsieur le président des anciens combattants, Monsieur le capitaine de la base de Séchaux et son adjudant, Mesdames, Messieurs les conseillers, Madame la directrice du pôle scolaire de Montois, Madame Guénaud-Pulchéry et les 900 élèves de Garnegy Vanguard High School. Mesdames, Messieurs, ce fut un réel étonnement quand j'ai reçu votre appel téléphonique. Madame Pulchery-Guénaud, vous êtes française, professeure d'histoire à Houston, dans le Texas, aux États-Unis. L'objet de votre appel était d'organiser avec le maire de Séchault cette cérémonie en mémoire des Noirs américains décédés sur notre sol en 1918, sans oublier ceux qui furent blessés dans leur chair et dans leur âme. Tout d'abord, Madame Guinaud, nous tenons à vous remercier vivement pour tout votre investissement. C'est une riche idée qu'il faudra renouveler dans les années à venir. En raison de cette période difficile que nous traversons avec la crise sanitaire mondiale, il ne nous a, hélas, pas été facile de mener cette commémoration. Nous aurions souhaité la parfaire et être plus entourés comme initialement prévu. Je laisse la parole à ma fille qui va transmettre en anglais.
I will do the translation from the mayor of Montois' speech. To Mr. Consul General, to Mr. Sous-Préfet, to Mr. Séchault Mayor, to Mr. Vice President of the Communauté de l'Argonne Argonnaise, to Mr. President of Veterans, to Mr. Captain of Séchault Military Base and his adjutant, ladies and gentlemen councillors, to Mrs. Montois Primary School Director, to Mrs. Guénaud Pulchery and his 900 students of Carnegie Vanguard High School, ladies and gentlemen. I was really surprised when I received Mrs. Pulchery Guénaud call. You are French, living in Houston, Texas, where you are teaching history. That's why you called me to organize with Séchault Mayor a ceremony in the memory of Black Americans during the First World War. First of all, Mrs. Guénaud, we would like to thank you very much for your interest and investment. It was a great idea and we have to continue to do it. Due to the pandemic, unfortunately, it was not so easy to organize this ceremony with as much people as we wished at first.
Un peu d'histoire. Il faut savoir qu'en 1917, la Constitution américaine interdisait que les Noirs portent les armes. Étant donné que les États-Unis sont entrés dans le premier conflit mondial, ils avaient besoin d'hommes. Voilà pourquoi s'est créé le 369e régiment d'infanterie. Régiment constitué de soldats noirs américains. Les soldats étaient surnommés les Harlem Hellfighters, auparavant appelé 15e régiment de la garde de New York. Une unité militaire américaine, la plus connue pendant la Première Guerre mondiale. Un surnom alternatif était les serpents à sonnettes noires, The Black Rattler, suite à leur insigne. Le 6 avril 1917, les États-Unis entrent officiellement dans le premier conflit mondial. Ils sont déjà présents au sein de la Légion étrangère et de l'escadrille Lafayette. La 93e division d'infanterie américaine était composée de 3 régiments. Et elle participa à l'offensive française du 26 septembre 1918 en Champagne. Cette division était formée de soldats noirs et ces régiments étaient intégrés dans la division de la 4e armée française. Le 369e régiment d'infanterie US, composé de 2000 hommes, combat au sein de la 161e division d'infanterie de la 4e armée. Le 371e combat près d'Ardeuil et le 372e régiment d'infanterie combat près de Montois au sein de la 157e division d'infanterie. Les attaques ont été menées sur 2 km entre la butte du Mesnil et la main de Massige. Plus précisément, le secteur de Ripon, le mont Cuvelet et Séchault. Ces combats durent plusieurs jours, du 26 septembre au 1er octobre 1918. Cette unité a libéré Séchault au prix d'une perte humaine importante. Et ce n'est pas moins de 851 soldats américains du 369e régiment d'infanterie qui sont tombés au champ d'honneur. Ce régiment unique, l'un des plus décorés, s'est battu pendant toute l'offensive Meuse-Argonne. Malheureusement, son triomphe ne sera pas complet avec le refus des soldats blancs américains qui refuseront de défiler avec eux le 14 juillet 1919 sur les Champs-Élysées.
About history. In 1917, the American Constitution didn't allow to the Black people to take up the arms. Given that, the United States went for the First World War and they needed men. That's how they created the 369th Infantry Regiment with Black Americans, called Harlem Hellfighters, known as well as the 15th New York Guard Regiment. This regiment was very famous during the First World War. They also have another nickname, the Black Rattlers, thanks to their badges. On April 6, 1917, the United States officially went for the First World War. However, they were already fighting with the Foreign Legion and the Lafayette Squadron. The 19th U.S. Infantry Division made up 3 regiments and participated to the battle in Champagne on September 26, 1918. The division was only made by Black Americans and worked with the 4th French Army Division. The 371 Infantry Regiment fought close to Ardeuil, and the 372 were close to Montois with the 157th Infantry Division. The battle was on 1.2 miles between Hillcock-Menil and La Main de Massige, more precisely around Ripon, Le Mont Cuvelet, and Séchault. These battles last few days, from September 26 until October the 1st, 1918. At the end, Séchault was free thanks to them. However, the loss was very important. 851 American soldiers from the 369th Infantry Regiment fell in the battlefield. This regiment was one of the most decorated and fought during the Meuse-Argonne battle. Unfortunately, because of the white American soldiers, they couldn't walk during the parade with the army on the Champs-Élysées Avenue on July 14, 1919.
Le 30 septembre 1997, cette stèle a été inauguré pour leur rendre hommage, ô combien mérité. Ils ont perdu la vie pour leur liberté, mais pour la nôtre également. Cet obélix est une sœur jumelle. Elle se trouve à New York, au cœur du quartier Harlem, qui est l'origine de ce régiment. Il est parfois difficile d'apprécier le nombre des sacrifices nécessaires pour préserver un pays. Voilà, j'en ai fini pour mon discours. Nous tenons, le maire de Séchault et moi-même, à remercier toutes les personnes qui ont contribué à l'organisation de cette cérémonie, plus particulièrement Madame Guénaud et les élèves de Carnegie Vanguard, ainsi que les élèves du pôle scolaire de Montois, qui ont fait les tableaux en désignant un militaire décédé ici. Madame Guénaud, si vous avez l'intention de venir vous recueillir, c'est avec plaisir que nous vous ferons découvrir nos Ardennes. Je vous remercie.
On September 30, 1997, this stele was unveiled to pay homage to them. Oh, well deserved. They lost their lives for the freedom and to save our lives. This stele has a copy in New York, right in the heart of Harlem, where the soldiers came from. It's sometimes hard to understand the sacrifices they did to save and protect a country. At the end of the speech, my father say thank you to Mr. Guénaud, and also want to show you those cards that you will see later with some kids, the school kids is gonna show every Black American soldiers died here in France. Thank you so much. And if sometimes one day you will be around France, do not hesitate to come to see us. We will show you around. Thank you.
Journée nationale de commémoration de la victoire et de la paix, hommage à tous les morts pour la France. C'était il y a un siècle. Ce 10 novembre 1920, la Grande Guerre est achevée depuis 2 ans. Dans la citadelle de Verdun, Auguste Tin, soldat de 2e classe et pupille de la nation, dépose un bouquet d'œillets blancs et rouges sur le cercueil d'un soldat. Parmi tous les combattants des Flandres, de l'Artois, de la Somme, du Chemin des Dames, de Lorraine, de la Meuse. Un de ces braves. Un des poilus qui participa à une interminable guerre. Un de ces Français qui œuvra à la tâche incommensurable de la victoire. Un parmi des milliers qui est devenu le soldat inconnu. Le 11 novembre 1920, le peuple de France l'accompagne solennellement sous les voûtes de l'Arc de Triomphe. La patrie, reconnaissante et unanime, s'incline respectueusement devant son cercueil, en saluant la mémoire de tous les soldats morts sous le drapeau tricolore. Quelques mois plus tard, il était inhumé. Depuis 1923, la flamme du souvenir veille, nuit et jour, sur la tombe. Chaque soir, elle est ravivée pour que jamais ne s'éteigne la mémoire. La sépulture du soldat inconnu est devenue le lieu du recueillement national et le tombeau symbolique de tous ceux qui donnent leur vie pour la France. Cet anonyme représente chacun de nos morts et tous nos morts en même temps.
This is the official French speech for November 11th ceremony. A century ago, on November 10th, 1920. The First World War was over 2 years ago. In Verdun, the soldier Auguste Tain put down white and red carnations on soldier grave. Among all the soldiers from Flandre, Artois, Somme, Chemin des Dames, Lorraine, and Meuse, one of these braves, one of the poilus who participates to the endless war, one of the French who participated to the victory, one among many thousand who became unknown soldiers. On November 11th, 1920, the French people came with him under the Arc de Triomphe. The French people, grateful, respectfully bowed in front of his grave, in memory of all the soldiers dead under the French flag. Few months later, he was buried. Since 1923, the flame of remembrance stayed up day and night on the grave. Every night, we rekindle the flame to make sure that we never forget. The unknown soldiers' burial became a national place to remember, and the tomb represents all the soldiers' life for her country. The unknown soldier represents every soldier's life, and at the same time, all of them together.
Cette mémoire vit également dans chacune de nos communes, dans chaque ville et village de France, dans chacun de nos monuments aux morts, dans chacun des cimetières, dans nos mémoires familiales. Elle vit dans l'œuvre de Maurice Genevoix, qui entre aujourd'hui au Panthéon. Le président de la République l'a souhaité en l'honneur du peuple de 14-18. Maurice Genevoix n'entre pas seul dans le temple de la nation. Il y entre en soldat des épaves, en écrivain et en porte-étendard de ceux de 14. Il y entre avec ses millions de frères d'armes, ceux dont il a immortalisé le souvenir, l'héroïsme et les souffrances. Il y entre avec toute la société, de la première ligne à l'arrière, mobilisée face à l'adversité et qui a tenu avec une admirable endurance. 8 millions de soldats combattirent sous les couleurs de notre drapeau. Aucun d'entre eux ne revint totalement indemne. Des centaines de milliers furent blessés dans leur chair comme dans leur âme. 1 400 000 tombèrent au champ d'honneur. Nous ne les oublions pas. Inlassablement, nous les honorons. Chaque 11 novembre, la nation rend également hommage, un hommage solennel, à tous les morts pour la France, ceux d'hier et ceux d'aujourd'hui. Chaque année, nous rappelons leurs noms.
This memory lives in every villages, cities, in every war memorial, cemetery, and in every family history. And also, thanks to Maurice Genevoix works of art, which is going to the Panthéon today, at the request of the French president to honor the people during the 4 years of war. Mr. Maurice Genevoix doesn't go in the Panthéon on his own. As a former soldier and writer of Ceux de 14, he will go in the Panthéon with 1 million brothers in arms, and he writes about them, about their bravery and their suffering. He will go also with all the society, all the army from the first line to the back, mobilized during 4 years of war with adversity and toughness. 8 million soldiers fought under our French flag. None of them came back completely unhurt. Hundreds of thousands were hurt in their body and soul. 1,400,000 fell to the battlefield. We don't forget them. We will honor them forever. Every November 11th, the French nation honored all of the French deaths, those of yesterday and those of today. Every year, we call their names.
Chaque 11 novembre est un moment d'unité nationale et de cohésion autour de ceux qui donnent leur vie pour la France, de ceux qui la servent avec dévouement et courage. En ces instants, au souvenir des événements passés et aux prises avec les épreuves de notre temps, nous nous rappelons que c'est tout un peuple, uni et solidaire, qui fit la guerre, qui la supporta et en triompha.
Every November 11th, for all the people who bravely served our country and gave their lives, it's a national cohesion moment. In this moment, remembering past events and struggling with trials of our time, we must remember that it was the whole people united who waged the war, who put up with it and win it.
At the end of this official speech, read in front of all the monuments in France, just as we have mentioned this morning the names of all the French soldiers dead for France this year, let me have a few words to explain the content of this speech and the link between our two nations. Your initiative is beautiful, to keep alive the flame of remembrance. It is so important to pay tribute to the braves, all the braves, from all countries. We have worked for victory, to greet, to express our gratitude to all the dead soldiers, and this afternoon to American soldiers, Black American soldiers who fought in the Argonne. I'm very happy to share this moment with you. Thank you. Memory is treasure. Memory lives in each monument, in our cemeteries, but also in our families. We do not forget our soldiers, we honor them. They fought for our freedom so that we can have the choice. It is also a moment of unity and cohesion between people, between nations. We must always remember this unity, the fact that we need each other for freedom, for equality, and for fraternity. Thank you.
Monsieur le sous-préfet de Roussier, messieurs les... Messieurs les maires de Montois et Séchault, dear Captain Paul Matthew, dear Professeur Pulchéry Guénaud, chers vétérans, particulièrement l'amicale des anciens combattants français, dear students of the Carnegie Vanguard High School, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today on Veterans Day, the day of the commemoration of the end of the First World War and of tribute to all veterans. 102 years ago, thousands of miles away from here, millions of soldiers were about to hear the relieving sound of the bugle and of the bells that would announce the much-awaited ceasefire. During 4 long years, European countries had engaged in the bloodiest war, a war that led 10 millions of fighters from all over the world to so many deadly battlefields. Nous sommes réunis aujourd'hui en ce jour de commémoration de l'armistice de la Première Guerre mondiale et alors que partout aux États-Unis, on célèbre Veterans Day. Among those soldiers, many joined the fight with the most commendable courage, not only because the battlefields were so far away from home, not only because they bore no responsibility in the causes of this war, not only because they answered without hesitation to the call of freedom and liberty, but also because, due to the segregation that was still the rule in their own country, they were never able to fight on equal grounds and did not receive the full recognition that they deserved for their skills and bravery. Et nous sommes réunis ici pour rendre hommage aux soldats qui, du fait de la ségrégation alors en vigueur dans leur propre pays, n'ont pas pu servir sur le même pied que les autres soldats et n'ont pas pu non plus recevoir la même reconnaissance pour leur courage. These soldiers were the roughly 400,000 African American soldiers who fought on the Western Front, including 160,000 on French soil. As a representative of the French Republic, I am standing before you to express the full gratitude and respect of my country to the soldiers who are honoring today the 92nd and 93rd Infantry Division. Ces soldats représentaient 400 000 soldats africains-américains engagés sur le front occidental, dont 160 000 sur le sol français. En tant que représentant de la République française, j'exprime ici la reconnaissance et le respect de mon pays aux soldats que nous honorons aujourd'hui, les soldats de la 92e et 93e division d'infanterie. Much has already been said about the conditions in which they experience the European battlefields and the many acts of bravery that they accomplished there. They undoubtedly contributed to the final victory, not only on the military side, but also on the side of the humanity that had to be preserved in those times of rare brutality. African American troops were welcomed by the French population, and testimonies are numerous of the ties that were established at that time. Cette page de l'histoire n'est pas seulement une page militaire, mais aussi une page humaine, car ces soldats non seulement ont contribué à la victoire finale, mais aussi ont apporté leur humanité dans cette guerre d'une rare brutalité. Ils ont été accueillis par la population française et les témoignages sont nombreux des liens qui se sont établis à cette époque. The fraternity of arms was also strong, not only with the poilus, but also with the French colonial troops. As one American officer of the 93rd Infantry Regiment reported, the poilus and my boys are great chums. Eat, dance, sing, march, and fight together in absolute accord. No doubt that in the terrifying daily life of this war, those ties help all combat troops keep hope in the final victory and humanity. Many soldiers also fell in love with France, and the legacy of this has been the vibrant African-American community that will settle in Paris after the war and bring so much to the cultural life of that time. Cette fraternité d'armes, elle s'est faite non seulement avec les poilus, mais aussi avec les troupes coloniales françaises. Et après la guerre, certains sont restés et ont contribué à cette vibrante communauté africaine-américaine de Paris. 2 years ago, we inaugurated this memorial thanks to the determination and passion of Pulchéry Guénaud and Captain Paul Matthew. I'm always very moved when I stand here, paying tribute to these soldiers. I'm even more moved because today the people of Montois and Séchault are sharing this tribute with us. Il y a 2 ans, nous avons inauguré ce mémorial grâce à la passion et à la ténacité de Pulchéry Guénaud et du capitaine Paul Matthew, et je suis toujours très ému lorsque je rends hommage à ces soldats. Je suis encore plus ému aujourd'hui car la population de Montois et Séchault a partagé cet hommage avec nous. This ceremony illustrates the vitality of the friendship between the oldest allies, a friendship that was forged in Yorktown, Virginia, on American soil, more than 230 years ago, and renewed twice on European battlefields. an unbreakable friendship that has never disappointed or been undermined. And African American soldiers are today fully recognized in their contribution to this friendship. May their memory be kept alive and our gratitude last forever. Cette cérémonie montre la profondeur et la permanence de l'amitié franco-américaine qui a été fondée il y a plus de 230 ans sur le sol américain. Et les soldats africains-américains sont maintenant pleinement reconnus dans leur contribution à cette amitié. Vive la France, vive les États-Unis d'Amérique. Long live Europe at peace. Long live the friendship between France, Europe, and the United States of America.
On this Veterans Day, I present to you, it is the veteran. It is the veteran, not the preacher, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the veteran, not the writer, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the veteran, not the protester, who has given us freedom of assembly. It is the veteran, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to fair trial. It is the veteran, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the veteran who salutes the flag. Thank you. Troopers, prepare the post, colors, fill the ball. All flag, white shoulder, post. All flag, post.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'interdit sanglant est levé. L'interdit sanglant est levé, entendez-vous dans les campagnes, mi-gerçais féroces et soldats. Ils viennent juste à nos bras, égorger vos filles, vos compagnes, aux armes citoyens. Formez vos bataillons, marchez, marchez, que sang impur abreuve nos sillons. Aux armes citoyens, formez vos bataillons. Marchons, marchons, que sang impur abreuve nos sillons. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Let us pray. Most gracious, most holy God, we thank you for this day that we come together all across the nation and across the world to reflect on the things that these veterans have done for this country. We thank you, God, for those who have paid the ultimate price, that of sacrificing their lives in defense of freedom. God, as we come to you on this day, we're asking you to continue to watch over this nation and the world. Continue to watch over the veterans, open ways and doors so they can get the help that they need. Oh God, many of the veterans have suffered on the battlefield. Some have lost limbs, eyes. Some have lost memory. We ask, oh God, that you will continue to open doors that they may get the medical help that they need. We pray for the leadership of this nation and the world, that you will continue to give wisdom, that they may be able to provide all the resources needed for these veterans to get the help that they need. We ask you, God, to continue to surround all the leaders with the right individuals who will speak wisdom into their minds and their help, that they may be able to effectively lead this world. God, we thank you for being faithful. You are that kind of God who cares about everything that happens with your creation. So we thank you that you will continue to lead us and guide us on this Veterans Day as we prepare to close out this celebration, we ask you to continue to be with us, lead us, and guide us. We ask you and we give you thanks.